So today is a very special day. It's a very special full moon. Chitra Pournami. Among all the full moon, Chitra Pournami, because that constellation also aligns. So that Pournami is the most powerful. And to be here, she must have invited you. In this temple, no one can come unless she invites you. You may not know that. Consciously, you may not. But in the Atmic level, it is. We have seen it consistently. So you, me, him, we're all very privileged today. This morning we did Hanuman Jayanti. There are two. One, people in South celebrate, that comes in December, that Hanuman Jayanti. Other one is today. So, but essentially it's the way you perceive it. If you perceive every day is Hanuman Jayanti, it is Hanuman Jayanti. What it means is that energy created on that day in earth. In other words, earth obtained the energy, and that day is Jayanti. But they are all eternal beings. And Hanumanji is Shiva Shakti. That's why he's so powerful and he can do anything he wants. But why he took that form, I don't know exactly, but what I presume is among the non-human primates, he was the one who went to the highest level of evolution. In other words, in that form, you could realize Divine Mother and Shiva, and he was Shiva Shakti. To me, Divine Mother and Shiva are same. I say Shiva Shakti. They separated because we are two. Humans are male and female. So she separated herself. So everything is mental, and the way we perceive it, that is reality. All the mythological story like today is very unusual. Renuka Devi's story. Sometimes you look at it, it may not make any sense. That story itself, mythological story, but if you analyze it, there will be a meaning behind. Otherwise, they won't create this mythology without any basis. And she is Mahadevi, Renuka Devi, is Shakti herself. She took that position, like Sita took that position of Mahalakshmi, for mythological reason, to make us understand certain things. They create mythology, and mythology is beautiful. It's more romantic than a dry, factual, abstract truths. So you make it more romantic by mythology. But all of them have meaning behind it. They all have a very deep, fundamental, pronounced meaning if you understand why it was created. And it's beautiful. So Renuka Devi is Mahalakshmi aspect. She took that position to try, and also that Rishi himself, he would not be that bad or that ordinary to feel that emotion against her. Humans would not do that. So there was again a meaning that she took the attention to heavenly beings. And heavenly beings exist. They exist all the time. We don't perceive them so, but in this temple, many of you have perceived. They come as Yakshini. I call them Yakshinis, Yakshas and Yakshini. They are super vibratory, supra-vibratory being. They are not restricted with human restriction, but they are divine. They would be the closest to us, but still their vibration would be a million times higher than our vibration. So everything goes back to spanda. Spanda is the key word. What spanda means is vibration. When she decided, I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be the only one which existed. I want many million, trillions and trillions, so I can experience myself through them. That is us. Through us. When I say us, I mean every living organism. Humans are in the living, we are the highest. In Earth, in other planets, they are higher forms. They may not be restricted like us with the Panjabhuta. But ultimately, it's the Atman, the consciousness. You take any form, you realize it, and once you understand who you are, where you came from, why you are here, those fundamental truths is self-analysis. That's what makes us evolve. In this temple, many of our devotees, Kundalini is awakened. ultimately it's all Kundalini energy. Without that, we don't exist. If we have to ascend, evolve, the Kundalini has to be activated. As a human, all of us Kundalini is awake. Otherwise, we would not be human. We would still be animals. So we have come up and in the Mooladhara, that's where Ganesha sits there. It's a fundamental wisdom. And then we evolve. We go up to Sahasrara, then we come back. We rotate that, and ultimately we become one. So that is the basis of gnosis. That's a good word. It's a Greek word. Gnosis is a fundamental wisdom. Gnosis, Gnostic gnosis. And that wisdom comes by activity of Kundalini. And Ganesha, of course, is a symbol of ultimate wisdom. He has many. The form is a symbol. All these divine forms, they're all very symbolic. They're very meaningful. Fundamentally, they are very deeply, profoundly philosophical, profoundly understanding. If you look at other religion, I don't want to compare it because ours is not a religion. Ours is a way of life. We are not religion. So religion is restricted. Relagio, the word means unite. Does a religion unite us? No. Religion separates us. All terrible things have happened in the name of religion. So relagia, strangely, is opposite of what happened. Many, many terrible things. And it's not the divine, it's not the religion. It's Asuric energies who is in us and who makes us do things. And we follow the Asuric energies. And traditionally, Devic energy is not as intense as Asuric. What I mean by that, love, however profound it is, cannot match hate. Intrinsically, hatred is more intense, however loving you are. But that energy, I'm talking about energy, not the emotional thing. Energy-wise, the hatred is more. That's why Asuric is more energetic. So mythologically, they will say Asuras are very strong. They sacrifice and they evolve. Devas, they want to enjoy and they are not very intense. So they are not given that level of evolution like Asuras. So all the divine beings, Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma, all of them will grant highest power to Asuras, but ultimately she would come and she will save the Devas. If you look at the mythology, that's mythology. Because Asuras are very, I don't want to use the word sacrificing, intensely penance. They do penance much more than Devas. So they have obtained much more power than Devas. But ultimately, once they realize, like look at these Asuras are very mighty beings, like Sumba, Nisumba, Chanda, Munda. We use those terms to refer to them. They're really very powerful, very intensely, million times as much humans could. But we, to explain simple truth, we minimize their importance. But without them, Devas don't exist. And without both, we don't have a stage to play. So we would not exist. So it's a stage we play and we let them use us. And if you are elevated soul, you let Devas use you. So they're all emotions, love, compassion, kindness, generosity. All these are Devas. Hatred, greed, lust, they're all Asuric. But they're all emotions. And we call them because we assume Asuras are basically that, which is true. They do have that tendency. So when that energy becomes arrogant, all the Asuras, if you look at Ravana, all the Asuras, what brings them down, they lose the reality. They think they are the mightiest. They don't realize we are of no consequence. That's why Sankaracharya, when she invokes Lakshmi, Mahalakshmi, she will say, we are smaller than dust in your feet. We are not even that. What we know you, what we understand you, what I invoke you, that knowledge is like a dust in your feet. In other words, there's so much more. Humans may not be given the privilege to know, and some of it is prohibited knowledge too, that might actually make you more of Asuric nature. So humans are not given that intense, that depth of comprehension. So he says, Shankaracharya says to Mother in Saundriya Lahari, that what I know, what I understand, it's less than a dust in your feet. What he means is there's so much more truth I have to know and I have to share. But he didn't, because he was not given. Even Saundriya Lahari, only after he did that, Mother gave him the wisdom, ultimate wisdom. Without invoking her, he would not have written. So only when he wrote Saundriya Lahari, it's a beautiful thing, he was given the wisdom. In other words, you have to go to that feminine aspect to reach the highest. That's the reason why females are superior genetically, because they have to carry. And you can imagine, carry another Atman in you. That's a great privilege, but it's a great ascension of that soul to be privileged to be able to do that. So genetically too, feminine is superior. Because of those reasons, they have to be. And the sacrifice. Every month, the flow, menstrual flow, is a sign of sacrifice. She gives her own blood. So it's very, very mystical. Why female is a female and male is a male. Why female is superior is very deeply mystical. So I won't go anymore. So today is a wonderful day. Hanuman Jayanti, full moon, and we got to watch Renuka Devi's Abhishekam. Abhishekams are very important because there we give our love, our affection, our reverence in the form of ahutis. And see how much we use every form of ahutis, make into thing, we do Abhishekam. So Abhishekams are important. Next to Homa, Abhishekams are very important. Observing it with the thought, here I am offering you my love, my affection, my purity, my sincerity, my reverence. So it's meaningful. It's not just a superstitious belief. It's very meaningful because our soul connects to super soul by our mind. So mind is very important. It may be illusory, but it's very important. We comprehend everything through mind. If we don't have mind, we cannot comprehend anything, and that thing doesn't exist. That's why moon is given so much importance. Moon is representative of mind. Sun is representative of the soul. It's a beautiful concepts we have. Thank you.
Thank you.